In this video, I'm going to teach you a technique that is essential for getting clean mixes, and that's sidechain compression. I will show you some real-world examples from 3 different areas of which I use sidechain compression, and I hope that by the end of this video, you are inspired to go out and try these things in your own mixes, making them clearer than ever. Let's go! So the main thing I use sidechain compression for is to get a sweet and clean low end. I put a compressor on the bass track or the bass bus, and then I insert the kick track into that compressor. So whenever the kick is hitting, the bass is lowered in volume. And whenever the kick stops making sound, the level is turned back up again. And how fast the bass is being lowered in volume depends on the attack. If you have a short attack, the bass will be lowered in volume quickly. That's what I usually do with the kick and bass. I usually have the attack very fast. And the release button determines how fast the volume of the bass is restored. And the ratio determines how much of the volume is being decreased. So tweak those knobs, the threshold, the attack, the release, the ratio, until you get some natural sound going on and some ducking, but not too much. Don't overdo it because it will sound unnatural. So make sure that it's as much as you need, but not any more than that. Another thing that I use sidechain compression for is to make sure that the vocal shines in the mix, that it's not buried in the beats or buried by the drums or by the instruments or by the bass for that matter. And so I will put a sidechain compressor either on the beat track, the complete instrumental section of the song, or I will use a compressor on the instrument bus and a separate compressor on the drum bus, and maybe on the bass bus as well. I would like to separate those elements to make sure that I don't carve out too much of the beats while still making the vocal audible and shiny and all that stuff. So take the first example where I just sidechain compress the whole beat. I put the compressor on the beat bus right here, as you see, and I insert the vocal track, typically the lead vocal, because the backing vocals can rock together with the beats. You don't depend on the backing vocals that much to be intelligible in the same way as the lead vocal, in my opinion at least, when I mix. And then I will do the same thing as I do with the kick. Again, be careful not to overdo it and make it sound natural. I don't want to bury the beats with the vocals either, so it has to be a nice balance, and that balance is what we all strive for when we mix. So the better you are at finding that balance, the better mixer you are, and that comes with experience. The first step is to learn techniques like this one. Apply it and do it over and over again, and then you will get the feel for it eventually, and then you will be able to move fast, making good sounding mixes every time you mix. I have yet another application for the sidechain compression technique, and that's compressing the send effects, specifically reverb. And then I will load up a compressor straight after the reverb, for example, the Valhalla Vintage Verb, as you can see here. And then I will insert the source that is hitting that reverb. Might be the lead vocal. When I put some reverb on the vocals, I like to control that verb so that whenever the vocal is making any sound, the reverb is being ducked in volume. And whenever the vocal stops, the volume will be restored on the reverb. That makes for a sweet reverb tail without muddying up the mix. How sweet is that? Now I'm wondering, what's your relationship with sidechain compression? Do you use any of the techniques or applications that I've shown you so far in the video? Leave me a comment below. I would love to hear. And if you haven't already, download my free mixing cheat sheet. The link is in the description. I've broken my process into 10 steps. And I also have 15 cheat codes to a better mix that you can try and apply directly as we speak. So download it. Link is in the description. Free. And the final thing that I wanted to tell you about is sidechain filtering. So not to be confused with sidechain compression, but it's still sidechaining per se. So Sidechain filtering is another compression technique that I will teach you all about in the next video, so stay tuned for that and I'll see you there.